right now they're just spacing the floor, really moving the basketball. These guys playing together, equal opportunity kind of offense. I would like to see that, when he comes back, that they continue that, but also feature James Wiseman. I think he's a tremendous offensive player.
No doubt about it. This matchup with Tennessee, what memories do you remember when you played the Vols?
All good memories. I mean, that they were a tough team back then. I mean, they had, guys like people may not remember Dyron Nix and Clarence Wendron and Allen Houston and, kind of all of those guys, but they were always a tough team. And anytime you play, I think, interstate rivalry, it's always going to be tough. You can throw the records out of the window. I think everybody gets up for that game. I mean, you saw, even though it's not interstate rivalry, you saw UAB and the way they played in that first half. I mean, they played lights out in that first half. Penny had to really come back and make some adjustments. His team had to make an adjustment, not just physically but mentally, kind of how they would approach that second half, and came out with the victory. So it doesn't matter about the records. It doesn't matter about who's on the floor. I want every guy out on the floor giving 110%. And if you're not, I'm going to put the next guy out there.
Elliot, you played for the Tigers when the resumption of the series after a long break started back, right?
Yeah.
And that was big. That was finally to get them to play in basketball more.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it should. I think we should play against Tennessee. I don't buy into the fact that it somehow it's kind of a recruiting tool for Tennessee or whomever. I just think that I think Penny wants to go out and he wants to really compete. He wants to play the best teams. I think my hope is that Barnes wants to continue this this I don't want to say rivalry, but these games, and I think it's good for both fan bases.
Play and let the chips fall where they may.
Play and let the chips fall where they may. I mean, you got the best of us here in Memphis last year, and I think Tennessee had a really good team. I mean, you look at the guys that they had. They had guys who really could shoot the basketball. They had a really good guard in Bone. I love the way he played. He played under control, much like somebody like a Drew Holiday. Stay within his lane, but can score the basketball, can distribute, run his team. And I thought Penny and them competed, even though they didn't have the talent level that they have now. They really competed against Tennessee hard. I just want this to continue.
Yeah, they don't have Grant Williams, 2-time Player of the Year. They don't have Admiral Schofield, who is a heck of a guy. They do have a very good point guard who's averaging 7.5 assists a game.
Yeah.
You brought up the point about the UAB game. That was the first Tiger true road test in a hostile area. I mentioned this the other day when Penn State beat Maryland. It was the first Maryland road game. How tough is it, especially for a young team with all these freshmen, to really play their first road game? This will be the second, and this will be crazy. 22,000 people are going to be there, but that takes its toll. That UAB game had to help.
Oh, no question about it. You've been there before. You know how to make your adjustments. You know how to execute those adjustments. And Tennessee will have probably a little bit more talent than UAB, but still, at the end of the day, if you get down 15 points, that's a haul trying to come back, and make up that difference. I think, I think this game is going to require some adjustments. I think you're going to see some runs. I think both teams will be hyped to play, and we need our best players to come out and play well.
No doubt about it. Elliot Perry, as always, we appreciate it. We love chatting with you in this time slot every Thursday. Thank you so much.
Man, I look forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Elliot Perry, brought to you every week by Campbell Clinic inside Hoop City. For decades, having hip, knee, or shoulder replacement, a lengthy stay in the hospital. Now Campbell Clinic is offering joint replacement on a same-day outpatient basis. That's right, no more IVs, sleepless nights in a hard bed or hospital food. You have your joint replaced. You'll check in and check out at Campbell Clinic on the same day. In time, you'll be home with a new hip or knee in time to watch the Grizzlies or the Tigers play that night. Patients are raving about the experience, one-on-one care in a comfortable environment, and you start your recovery in the comforts of home. Call 901-759-5400 to find out more about how you can undergo outpatient same-day joint replacement at Campbell Clinic. Again, 901-759-5400. Campbell Clinic, one of the first groups in the country to offer this. It's cutting-edge medical care right here at home in Memphis.
We are still inside Hoop City. I want to point out that the women's basketball game that was scheduled for, I think it was 2 o'clock, they have moved that game up to a 12 o'clock start so that you can go to their game, and those games are 2 hours, buddy. Let me tell you, they are in, they are out, and they are fun to watch. And the girls, by the way, are now 5-4. They are getting better and better. She's got all these great young players in. They're starting to gel and to play much better. They've moved that game against Arkansas State at the El Marone Fieldhouse. Saturday afternoon now is at noon, so you'll be home in time to watch the Tigers and the Vols.
So Grizzlies tomorrow night at home against the Bucks and Giannis. Then the Tigers Saturday afternoon, and the Grizzlies back home Saturday night against Washington. And on Monday night against Miami, and the Tigers will be back at home a week from Saturday against Jackson State. So it's that time of year where almost every night you can head to FedEx Forum and see one of the Hoop City teams.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I will not be able to see tomorrow night, because we'll be traveling the game with Milwaukee. But, Giannis is a guy, ladies and gentlemen, you won't get to see Ja, but you'll get to see what most people think has probably the inside shot at being the MVP of the league.
And the only time the Bucks will come through this year, one time tomorrow night, and they're 22-3, playing at a smooth 880 clip. And that's the same clip in the West the Lakers are playing at. Mm-hmm. It could be a Lakers-Bucks finals come June very easily.
How about the matchup between the master and the student? Taylor Jenkins was with Budenholzer last year, and he was his right-hand guy. And, of course, because of their success, he got the chance here. So this will be the student against the teacher.
And kind of trying to do the job that Budenholzer did in Atlanta before he got the Milwaukee job. Boy, Atlanta seems lost again, don't they?
They do.
6-19.
I thought they were getting better. Thank you, my friend.
Thank
we just had somebody drop off some toys for us on the way. If you're on the way home, please do that as well. We are at Family Leisure, and this, again, is our day that we really, really enjoy. We see so many people, but it's, where I come from, we call it a mitzvah. When you do a good deed, you open up your heart. Like somebody gave us 4 $100 bills earlier. That was a mitzvah. The Jan Gwynn came in and gave a check. I've seen 3 guys drop bikes off. That is a good deed. And this goes to kids, and believe me, Peter arranges all this, and everything that we get goes directly to Toys for Tots. There's no middleman cut or anything like that. This all goes to the kids.
It's going to be hard to top Golden State in that race for the bottom. They're going for it. It's really no pretense around it,
but wait
because
a
they
second.
can get a big pick and be good again next year when everybody gets well.
But they're really hurt. It's not like they're faking this thing.
And they recognize
Curry is really hurt. Klay Thompson got hurt in
Kevin Durant's really gone,
and he's gone.
And he's hurt.
So is Iguodala. So is Sean Livingston. I mean, that team is no longer that team.
Almost the San Antonio model when David Robinson got hurt. Recognize it, accept it, have that race to the bottom to get good again.
Who I guess could be James Wiseman. Wouldn't he be the prize?
Sure could be.
The kid from North Carolina, the kid from Georgia. There's this
LaMelo Ball.
This a ball coming from New Zealand. So is the kid that Memphis almost got. That was
R.J. Hampton.
R.J. Hampton. I mean, there's 5 or 6 good players. So you're right. Golden State's going to get a really good player.
When James Wiseman gets back with the Tigers, I think he will separate himself. He will work to that one spot, first name called by the commissioner. And if he does that, if he works into the number 1 spot, man, that's about Elite 8 at worst, isn't it?
I got a hard one for you right now. Just a quick one. You ready? We just talked about John Morant. I hate all this load management stuff. I know he's ready, but is he Rookie of the Year, or does Zion come back? You know the national press wants to make him the Rookie of the Year. Who will be Rookie of the Year?
I think it'll be my preseason pick because he's on a team that's going for it to make at least the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it's going to be Tyler Herro with the Heat. He's having that kind of year.
He's having a great year. I don't think it's better than Ja's, and we'll see.
But he's going to be in there.
He will be. He's going to get a lot of attention.
When Ja's in there, he's better. He's just going to be out of there a lot.
Yeah, they're playing him. I get it. We take a break. When we come back, we will talk National Football League with our good friend Russell Copeland. I'll let you know this portion of the show is brought to you by one of my favorite places. This is where I like to go shop for the holidays, Edwin Watts Golf. And they want to let you know about their holiday specials that are happening right now, like these deals from TaylorMade. Save $5 on TaylorMade TP5 and TP5X golf balls now, down to $39.99. And featuring the new TaylorMade milled grind 2 wedges for $169.99. Can you imagine that? And while you're there, register to win free golf balls for a year and get your free custom fitting today. The Edwin Watts Golf Shop's holiday sale happening now at their new location in the Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center. Whether you're a casual golfer or you're an avid golfer, let Edwin Watts Golf Shops help you fill your wish list for this season's best deals on golf. Back in just a minute. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
The Season of Performance event is going on now at Acura of Memphis. Choose from a large selection of Acura of Memphis's entire lineup. The Acura TLX with premium tech and exceptional performance. Or drive the 3-row, 7-passenger SUV, the Acura MDX. Or Acura of Memphis' top-selling luxury crossover, the Acura RDX. Stop in and take advantage of special year-end pricing as well as incredible lease and financing options. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
And now, a page from the Diary of Flo.
Dear Diary, the ghost is back. This house is protected through Progressive, but that doesn't mean it's not haunted. How else would you explain that radiator-like clanking sound? Or the moon-colored light in the hallway that's gone by morning? Maybe he never bundled home and auto, and he's doomed to suffer an eternity without the savings.
Save an average of 17% on car insurance when you bundle home and auto through Progressive.
What was that wind-like sound? Oh, right, the wind.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles, when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC-accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselimbembrace.com.
You know, it's better to give than receive, right? When you donate a gift at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch, you can receive a free lunch this Friday beginning at 11 a.m. Just bring a toy to All-Star Chevy for the kids at Winchester Elementary this Friday beginning at 11 a.m. There are also free prizes, and Greg and Eli from Sports 56 will be broadcasting live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. While you're there, check out the new Silverado Traverses and the all-new Chevy Blazer. And if you buy one, you could save thousands paying what the employees pay. So come on out this Friday for free lunch and prizes, and bring a toy to donate to Winchester Elementary from All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and Sports 56.
Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back. We're going to talk some National Football League in a minute with our friend Russell Copeland. We didn't even mention the SEC awards in football yesterday. If you had said to me 2 years ago, Ed Orgeron is going to have the number one team in the college football playoff, the Heisman Trophy winner,
a quarterback,
and he would be the coach of the year in the best league in America, I mean, I would have laughed at you.
I could see a tailback.
I would have laughed at you.
What would you have said 12 years ago at the end of the Ole Miss tenure?
I would have said he'd never be a head coach again.
Especially in the SEC West.
I would have been totally wrong.
And he's made it work, but a lot of it is where it is. He's made it work there.
Maybe what we need to say, and this could happen with Lane Kiffin, maybe guys do change their stripes.
Well, if I'm going to get a chance to change a stripe, I want to try to do it at LSU.
I hear you. Or USC. Two pretty good programs to change.
Are you seeing
stripes.
the stories? The reason why it's now been publicly disclosed what Pat Hayden just really couldn't get over, and why he didn't hire him as the permanent head coach at USC, is he just didn't like his accent and how he sounded.
That could be. There was, I think, a characteristic of buffoonery that he has, because of perseverance, I think he's gotten past that. But I could certainly, see that was
he
a
can't help his
buffoonish.
accent.
That was sort of a buffoonish character that he had, the way that sometimes he presented himself too, and I do think he's learned, and Lane Kiffin and the things that he said when he talked about how he thought he just had to get the better players to the NFL and making money, and some X's and O's, but not really about relating to kids and making them better on and off the field. I think, honestly, that maybe he's changed. He said the right things, that's for sure. It is time for us to talk National Football League with our friend Russell Copeland. And the hottest team in the NFL, a team that has clinched a playoff spot, that would be Baltimore. So I'm going to ask you, now that we've seen New Orleans, we thought might be the best team in the league. San Francisco, well, that was a heck of a game with New Orleans, but those two teams played no defense the other day. Is Baltimore the best team in the National Football League right now?
Baltimore is the best team in the National Football League, and if you look at them being led by Lamar Jackson, they beat an undefeated Patriots football team. They have simply been playing great, outstanding football. They went to Seattle. They played Seattle. They beat that Seattle football team. So this team right here has beaten the best. They beat a 49ers team. Lamar Jackson is definitely the favorite for the MVP. They can run the football. They can stop the run. They can be able to beat you with different facets with Lamar Jackson down the field and also with his tight end. And we know what he can do with his legs.
And he's on his way tonight to wrapping up a division title for the Ravens. And what a mismatch at quarterback for perception-wise a few years ago. Russell, a few years ago, everybody, even with winning the Heisman at Louisville, most for NFL success would have taken Sam Darnold over Lamar Jackson. Not now, they wouldn't.
Definitely, and when you look at Sam Darnold and also Baker Mayfield and the other quarterbacks that were taking in front of Lamar Jackson, he has definitely stepped up, and he has been the most productive player. But when you look at the Jets, this is a football team that is pedestrian and also atrocious on offense, and that's something that you would not think of an Adam Gase football team as far as he is an offensive-minded coach. But Sam Darnold simply has not progressed in his second year. Running back Le'Veon Bell came back from a year off, but he is the main focus, and he simply has not done it. And when you're only averaging 17 points a game and you only can run the football for 75 yards a game, you're not going to win many ball games, and that's what you're looking at tonight with the Jets. I think Baltimore comes in, and hopefully they can get ahead of this game and rest their quarterback, because this is the type of football game that if you're not careful and you play Lamar Jackson a little bit too much, he already has an injury to his quad. You do not want to get your franchise quarterback hurt, especially with 3 weeks left before the playoffs start.
If you were in the New York Jets locker room and you were playing for them, Russell, and you had a teammate who came with a whole bunch of fanfare and signed a really good deal, was a problem child a year ago, but that's a lifetime ago because he signed a big $50+ million deal, and then he's got the flu all week. He really can't practice, and that appears to be legit. And they deactivate him for a game, and then you saw him bowling that same night
at the local bowling alley
that you played your butt off for. How would you feel about Le'Veon Bell as your teammate?
Very unfortunate for him, because I think he has been a model citizen this entire year. He has came and he has played. But all of that goes down to when you're trying to win football games, everyone is playing for their job, and you're supposed to be one of the leaders on the football team, and you're not practicing, and now you're out bowling at 1 o'clock. It does not sit well with your teammates. It would not sit well with me. It's not going to sit well with the organization. So at this point in time, this needs to be addressed. But it's very discouraging because I thought Le'Veon Bell had definitely gotten his act together as far as being a leader and coming to work every day and bringing his pail and bringing his bucket. It's just very unfortunate to hear that he was out bowling at 1 o'clock without practicing and not being there for his team when you're losing and you're trying your best to win victory.
And Russell, for the Steelers, no Bell, no Brown, no Ben, and Mike Tomlin. He's about to get them in the playoffs and maybe his best coaching job ever.
Would he be over Harbaugh? Would he be Coach of the Year in the AFC?
Well, you know what John has been able to do has definitely been remarkable because his job is on the line and what Lamar Jackson's been able to do. But when you look at Mike Tomlin, let's see how far he goes. If he can get his football team in the playoffs, his name definitely is in the hat and is definitely there. But when you lose 3 of your stars, and not just stars, we're talking about 3 players that were pretty much arguably the best at their position in the National Football League or definitely in the top 5. You lose those guys. You come up with backups. You lose your backup. You come in with some player, quarterback that you don't know anything about. We call him the duck man. And you go out and you still win games. But more importantly for me, you kept the locker room together. You kept everything together. You went out. You worked hard. Your coaches went out. You worked hard. Your players believed in your philosophy, believed in you as a coach and as a leader. And it has shown over the last 6 weeks.
It has shown. Tonight's game's interesting for playoffs, but a lot of good games this weekend. And I don't know how we topped the game of the year. I think last week was 49ers and Saints. That was a dandy. But it is down to money time in the NFL, Russell.
It definitely is. And this is the last 3 weeks, and there are playoff implications. They will be seeing playoff implications from here to the next 3 weeks, especially when you look at teams that are 8-5 on the outside trying to get into the playoffs. Teams such as in the NFC, you look at the Rams. The Rams are 8-5. They've won their last couple of games. The Bears have won 3 in a row. They're 7-6. And the Eagles are still hanging in there 6-7 because their division is not that well. But I think you look at the Titans. The Titans have a big game coming up Sunday because they're going against the Texans for the battle of first place. And whoever wins that football game, the other team falls out of playoff contention. And that's the game that I'm going to be watching. I love that game. I love what the Titans have been able to do, especially with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. He was a former first-round pick for the Dolphins. He wasn't doing well with the Dolphins. He comes over now. He replaces Marcus Mariota. He's not just lighting it up, but he's being a leader. He's leading the football team, and they have surrounded him, and they're winning. But I like the Texans, guys. When I look at Bill O'Brien and I look at what Deshaun Watson has been able to do over the last course of the last 3 weeks, their defense is now gelling despite losing J.J. Watt and trading Jadeveon Clowney. I think it will be a black and blue game. Both teams want to be established to run the football. Derrick Henry is a man among boys. But I just think the Texans, the difference is going to be Deshaun Watson going against that secondary. That secondary is ranked like 27 for the Titans. If they can go ahead and stop Deshaun Watson passing with the tough pass, I think it'll be hard. I like to say.
And the Texans can really go a long way to closing the Titans out because in 2 weeks they play them at home in Houston.
Definitely, and that's what you look at. This is the division, guys, if you look at over the last 3 or 4 years, it always comes down to the past couple of weeks. You know, it's been dominated for years and years for the Colts, but then you see Jacksonville a couple of years ago, they get into the fold and win, and then the Titans, they have been right there with the Texans every year. This is going to be a battle. Even if the Texans win this football game, let's look at the last week of the season and see how that goes. This is a tough division. It's always very competitive, but like I said, I think the Texans comes out.
You know, you picked the Rams, didn't you, over Seattle this past week? You had the insight for that, which I was impressed with. This time, I got to ask you, what the heck are you talking about? How can you go with Houston going on the road? Look what they did in Denver last week. They were so elated from their big win the week before, they fell asleep. And I don't know. I mean, this Tennessee team, since they've gone to Tannehill, it's a whole different ball club, and they're at home. I don't see how you get that there. We might, you know, isn't there a steak dinner the man owes me? I believe there's a steak dinner.
Hey, we could go 2 for 1.
I think double or nothing, baby.
Dave, we can go double or nothing. Like I said, the Titans have played well. I think they've won 4 out of their last 5. But I just look overall with the Texans. It's been a division game. Matchups is always everything. So when you look at matchups and you look at offensively and defensively for the Texans, they have more receivers. They can run the football. The Titans beat you one way. and that's simply to create turnovers, get the ball on the short side of the field. But when they get into a situation where a quarterback can pass, that's where they have problems. That's going to be the difference.
You know, Russell, I thought Dave owed you.
No. Oh, no. That's where you have a hard time remembering owing lunches and things of that nature.
I was almost certain, Russell, he owed you a steak. I think he does. I think you're going for double, aren't you?
No.
Well, no, I'm going to admit, my friend Dave, I lost that one. I don't lose very many against Dave, but Dave is up on me. So
it's coming back to me now, yeah.
And enjoy ourselves. I think we can do it. I think we can do double to nothing.
Good.
And hopefully we can do it within the next 2 or 3
and
weeks.
Dave,
just remember the man who brought you Jimmy G.
I got you. And Dave's Bears still alive on the road at Lambeau. You talking about black and blue. We know that division's good for that.
It definitely is. And this is the oldest rivalry in football and one of the best rivalries in football. And, let's start with the Packers. When you look at the Packers, you get rid of your longtime coach at McCartney, and you come with Matt LaFleur, and you say, well, will he be able to mesh well with Aaron Rodgers? And I think overall that has been a good marriage so far. They've had some injuries. They've lost some close games. But overall, this Packer team, as long as you have Aaron Rodgers, they've been very competitive. I think for them, their defensive side needs to come, especially in their secondary. They're putting a little bit of pressure on the quarterback, but at the end of the day, they have to show up their secondary. Now when you look at the Bears were disappointing. Early on in the year, you say, man, what's going on with the Bears? But I think they finally got the memo. And, Dave, you know what that memo is? That memo is Mitchell Trubisky is a different quarterback when you get him on the run and get him outside of the pocket. You look at the past couple of games, that's what he's been able to do. And when he's outside of the pocket, he stretches the pocket. He extends the play. He gets first downs with his legs. And now the playbook is wide open as far as running the football and also hitting your tight end who's been lost this year. Anthony Miller has had a tremendous past couple of games. You're able to hit him now. He's getting more confidence with his receivers. I'm going to pick the Bears.
Oh, I love it when you talk to me that way.
In a black and blue game, I'm going to pick the Bears, man. The Bears right now, they have a lot of confidence. Anthony Miller said it best. Matt Nagy said it best. The whole team said it best. Their backs are against the wall. But I think it only takes one game. And I told you last week, guys, that they will beat the Dallas Cowboys.
You did?
Simply because they feel it. And it only takes one game. And that game started on Thanksgiving with the Detroit Lions. Now they have confidence. They've got some things that's working. Their defense now is not on the field as long as they were early. Now they're able to make plays like they're accustomed to making plays. I think it'll be black and blue. But look, I think they can put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. And when Aaron Rodgers has had pressure on him like the San Diego game, he has not played up to par like he usually does. Give me the Bears.
Who wins the NFC East, Dallas or Philadelphia?
Oh, man. Let's toss it up a little bit. I'm going to have to go with Philly. And the reason why I go with Philly is that Dallas isn't going anywhere fast. I mean, you look at a team that started off 3-0. They start off 3-0, then they lose 6 of the last 9. They're 1-4 in their last 5. Now their coach, he's on the hot seat. When I look at Philadelphia, the reason when I look at Philadelphia having the records they have, they've been decimated by injury. I know it's the National Football League. It's no excuses. But they've lost their top 3 receivers. They've lost their running back. They've lost both of their offensive lines. Their secondary has been depleted. When they have any one of those guys that's out there that can play, they win football games. They didn't play well first half, but they were able to come back and play. I think it'll come down to a tough game with them, but I'm going to take the Eagles. I just have no confidence whatsoever with a Dallas Cowboys team that has that much talent, and you look at them being 6-7.
I agree, and I would have to think this he'll play through the rest of the year, but say goodbye to Jason Garrett.
Most definitely. And when you look at the Cowboys franchise, this is a very lucrative organization, and it's very popular. So when you look at their fans, you look at their history when it goes back to it, they've only won 3 playoff games since 1996. So they definitely have not been giving their fans what they deserve. They have not been winning accordingly as far as the depth. This is a year when you come back and you look at this team from top to bottom, guys. There's a lot of talent on this team. So why are you not winning? That is the biggest question. So you have to start with the coach, and you have to be able to get a coach change. Have to.
Yeah, and really, the Cowboys in the NFL, they've kind of become Nebraska. It's long ago, the glory days, but no unquestioned great glory days, but it's a long time ago.
Exactly, and when you hear it time and time again, if you according to a Cowboy fan, we're back in it. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to go to the playoffs. But y'all, that's not reality. When you look at it, the Cowboys have not been able to win big football games in a very long time. And when you look at this year, they haven't beaten a team 500 or better. And that's not saying much when you look at when you have Amari Cooper, when you have Dak Prescott that's in the top 2 or 3 as far as passing, when you have Ezekiel Elliott, you have Pollard that's backing them up. You got guys on defense that can run sideline to sideline. And they're simply just not making plays. Why aren't they making plays? I have to hold the coach accountable to a certain point to get your players ready to play, but players also have to make plays. And overall, they have just been very disappointed over the last 2 months of the season.
All right, before we let you go, and I know you'll talk more about it in the coming weeks, but we love asking you about your Tigers and their championship, and now they're going to play Penn State. What do you know about the Nittany Lions? And now it looks like you're not going to have your defensive coordinator there, and we know you're not going to have your head coach there.
Well, when you look at the season, what a tremendous job that Coach Mike Norvell and his staff did. He has, taken our program to unprecedented. It's unprecedented to win 11 games, 12 games. And, losing him is big. Losing the defensive coordinator is big. But I believe in these players. I believe these players want to still prove something on national television. When you look at the Nittany Lions, this is a time to go out and play against a team that known for winning. And even with their program has come from a lot when you look at the things that they went through in 2009 and 2006 as far as all of that. I like the Tigers. I think it'll be a physical football game. It'll be a big challenge for them being able to stop the run. The physicality will be the big thing. I'm going to lean towards the Tigers, but it's going to be definitely a big test for them because they're going to have to be the win up front, or they're going to have to be able to get a lot of big plays to have this team, Nittany Lions, to play from behind. But I like the Tigers in a close game by 3.
I love it like that. You got me the Bears, you got me my Tigers, and I'm going to win another steak dinner from you on the Titans. This is a big week
Russell.
Here. Big day here.
I'm pulling for you, Russell.
Thank you, my friend. We appreciate it.
Man.
Thank you, Russell.
All right.
That is Russell Copeland. He's brought to you in part by our title sponsor. That is Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch and Genesis of Olive Branch. My friend Chris True, man, he put me in this car, this G90, this Genesis luxury car, and I got friends that got in the car and they go, "How did you get this? What? Yeah, and it's special. It really is. All of these new automobiles, they get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty when you go to Homer Skelton Hyundai. But all of this new technology is so incredible. This G car, I tell you, I have a steering wheel warmer. I got a seat air conditioner or a seat heater. I got more stuff in here. It'll drive itself, and it's safe. It's the perfect combination of technology and of service. And they've got the shopper assurance. Ask Chris True about that. Whether it's a Genesis or it's a Hyundai, you are in good hands. If you head down Lamar into Mississippi, first exit's Craft Road, you will have arrived at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. We take a quick timeout. We'll give you an update on our auction items. There's so much going on. Drew Barrett will give us the numbers when we come back in a minute as you listen live from Family Leisure for Toys for Tots. You listen to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Is imitation the sincerest form of flattery? Not when it comes to your car audio. Stereo One is the leader in car audio, remote start, security, and more for the past 30 years. Stereo One is proud to announce the grand opening of their new location, 1983 Covington Pike, across from the Honda dealership. To celebrate their new location, Stereo One has marked down their entire inventory. Remote start systems, at $129 with free installation. Subwoofer base packages start at just $199. Window tint starting at $129. The entire inventory of radios and touchscreens with features like Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, and backup cameras are marked to go. Check out Stereo One before you buy online. Their knowledge, friendly sales staff, and pro installation team will take care of you. Visit the Stereo One new location today, 1983 Covington Pike across from Honda, or visit their mega store at Mendenhall and Winchester. Make sure you go to the originators and not the imitators. Stereo One is still the one for your auto accessories.
The construction reduction event is on at Wolf Chase Honda. Exciting changes are in the works and inventory must be reduced. Get the best deals right now on all remaining 2019 Hondas while they last. Every new car, every certified, every used car, price to go. Get pre-approved now at wolfchasehonda.com. Wolf Chase Honda is expanding and our prices are dropping. Don't miss these savings. Act now. This huge construction reduction event ends soon.
For the best lineup of quality, fuel-efficient, and fun-to-drive vehicles, get to Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan. Over 1,000 new certified and pre-owned vehicles in one great location. Catch the savings now during our huge model year-end sales event. Score an amazing deal at Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan and get to the game in style at Germantown Road and Highway 64. Family-owned since 1981.
Pop Wigington has been in the restaurant business since the 70s and has now brought 3 generations of family favorites together under one roof at Pop's Comfort Kitchen, 2990 Kirby Whitten Parkway next to Kroger. Pop's takes you back to a simpler time when food and life was more wholesome. Settle down today for lunch or dinner at Pop's with daily specials like country fried steak, fried catfish, chicken and dumplings, or Pop's famous fried chicken livers, all served up with your choice of 23 fresh vegetables like field peas and snaps, seasoned green beans, sweet corn and turnip greens. Hungry for a sandwich? Check out the Chuck, a hand-patted cheeseburger between 2 grilled cheese buns topped with lettuce, tomato, diced onion, pickles, fried egg, and bacon. Or a half-pound flat iron steak sandwich served on Texas toast. Don't forget one of Grandma's homemade desserts like chess pie or banana pudding. Take comfort today at Pop's Comfort Kitchen, 2990 Kirby Whitten Parkway next to Kroger. Pop's Comfort Kitchen.
In today's evolving workplace, XMC understands the process of getting office work done has moved from the desktop to your pocket. The new Xerox multifunctional printers and Connect Key app technology are game changers. Are you working with confidential information? Does it need to be secure from unwanted threats? Do you need to translate documents to another language? Xerox's App Gallery provides solutions like secure printing and easy translator technology. XMC is the second largest exclusive Xerox agent in the U.S. with 9 locations to serve you. We've been in business for over 25 years and have received top awards from Xerox. In changing our world one experience at a time, our team's committed to doing what's right for your business. XMC is proud to be your leader in document and print management, and it'd be our pleasure to serve you. Contact XMC today at 888-814-3114 or visit our website at xmcinc.com. XMC, excellence in office solutions.
Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Ocean and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in. Wolo and Stats with you. Again, it's Toys for Tots Day. We just love being out here at Family Leisure. Still time. You got about an hour or so to come out and make sure this is going to be a great Christmas for some young person who may not have what you've got. And you can definitely make a difference. And so many of you have already come out here. We are so grateful for your big hearts, that is for sure. We've got some things that are still up for auction. Let's see where they are right now. Drew Barrett joins us from the Flynn Broadcasting Center. And we got 2 tickets to the Grizz Spurs game with an autographed picture of Ja and Jaren on there. That's set for December 23rd. Where's the numbers?
Yeah, number on that is still at 321. The picture itself is going to be worth $500, by the way. Ja and Jaren are playing, and the tickets are easily worth $300 by themselves, so we should easily be able to get $400 on this, I think.
Need more.
3-month membership to Windike. You choose the 3 months. You wouldn't do it now, right? But you might want to in April or May, whatever you choose. Where are we at?
Still at $375.
2 tickets to the Liberty Bowl with 2 buffets in there for breakfast. Where are we at with those 2 tickets to see Navy and K-State on December 31st?
Still at $125, and I think that's the biggest deal that we've got on the board right now.
Yeah. And then the Jeff Fick generosity of a spot on Tiger Lane and food and drink for 10. Tailgate, game of your choice at Tiger Lane, and all the food and drink that you can handle from Jeff Fick, who, by the way, really puts out a spread. Where are we at with that?
At $200.
$200, okay. That's where we are. You got about an hour more to call. 360-8255, 360-8255. That's where we stand at the moment. Plenty of time for you to come out here and give and just say hello to us. We love seeing you. This is, one of the ways, and we've been doing this a bit at the Spirit Shop and some other places. But this is really a place where we always come.
11 years
to
for Toys
see
for
you.
Tots.
11 years.
11th year.
Yeah, and that we got to commend Peter Edmiston for putting it together. I see a bunch of you have been calling in. I know the numbers are going up. We'll update everybody as we get closer here to the end time. I will I'll let you know. We're going to have Greg Gaston coming your way in a minute. Blake Lovell still to come as well. This portion of the program brought to you by the Eflin Insurance Group. 20 years of insurance experience, all in Memphis. This Matt is a high-energy guy. He really is. I mean, he will take care of you. His main office is on Stage Hills Boulevard in Bartlett. But the thing about Matt, I'm not kidding. He's got them all. He's got offices all over. He's really built a place where people go in and they get protected. They have all types of insurance. Will help you with your needs, whether that's personal insurance or business insurance. Yes, he does both, and he's got a one-on-one approach. He sits down with each and every individual and assesses their insurance needs. If it's your family, we'll talk about life insurance and health insurance. How many kids you got? What's really important? Business. Let's forecast it out. 5 years. No, let's go 10 years. What's really important that you've got to protect? He finds the product, and then you feel that security that you know you have when you're protected. If you would like that feeling, get a quote. Get a personalized service from him by calling 757-2315. 757-2315. That's the Eflin Insurance Group. We are back for hour number 3 on this gorgeous Thursday. Oh, sun setting. What a pretty sunset. As I look to our west from Family Leisure, people are still pulling in to give us bikes or toys or checks or cash. It is our annual Toys for Tots Day right here at Family Leisure. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Edwin Watts Golf Shops features this season's hottest holiday gift from Titleist, featuring the Titleist T200, inspired by a toured look and feel and powered by Max Impact, a striking innovation that spreads speed and control evenly across the forged face. The Titleist T200, designed to help you score lower. You'll find the Titleist T200 at Edwin Watts Golf Shops, backed with their exclusive 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is at our new location in the Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. That's right, free, zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/joy.
So I just checked, and yes, we can still have our holiday events right here at Sweetgrass.
I am so glad to hear that. I was wondering that since they merged Sweetgrass with Nextdoor, they might not be doing holiday parties.
Well, they sure are. We can still book our holiday parties for family and friends right here at Sweetgrass, where we always do.
And I'm going to keep right on having our office holiday party here, too.
You can still get special attention and have a special event right here at Sweetgrass.
And everyone will be able to see the games they want for once and won't be checking the scores on their phones. Sweetgrass is even better than before.
Summers span decades, winters can last a lifetime, and the struggle for the Iron Throne continues in Game of Thrones: The Final Season. Get it now on 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD. The complete series also available on Blu-ray and DVD, now for purchase, but you could win it right here on Sports 56 with help from your friend Johnny Radio. Johnny's giving away 4 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and 4 digital copies. Who loves you this holiday season like Johnny? Nobody.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back to Family Leisure. We are so happy to have you. Here's a couple coming in, and they are loaded with toys. Look at this.
Thank you.
How nice is that? Thank you so much, folks. We really and truly appreciate that, and that folks have been doing that all day long. Toys for Tots at Family Leisure, our 11th year, and we get to see folks we haven't seen in a long time. It just warms my heart. It truly does. We're about to talk with another guy who I know his heart was warmed a little bit later this afternoon. Greg Gaston's going to join us momentarily.
After I tell you about the sponsor this hour, that's DeSoto Auto Sales, down on Goodman Road at 5704 Goodman Road in DeSoto County. Check them out online at DeSotoAutoSales.com or call them at 662-890-7184. Very high standards at DeSoto Auto Sales, and all the cars are test-driven, checked out head-to-toe, bumper-to-bumper, with an unlimited inventory. Every make, every model, if it's not on the lot, DeSoto Auto Sales will go out and find it for you. No shortcuts taken at DeSoto Auto Sales, where you walk in and you're treated like family by kind, courteous employees with a laid-back, down-home environment. No high-pressure sales, but they do care about your time and want you to have the ultimate car experience. You walk in, within 45 minutes you test drive your car, you get credit approved, finish paperwork, and within an hour you're out of there. About 45 minutes you're in your new car. They know we're living in a world today that time matters. At DeSoto Auto Sales, visit them online at DeSotoAutoSales.com. 5704 Goodman Road. Come on down to DeSoto County for that town and country experience at DeSoto Auto Sales.
Good news. The Windyke Measure 3-month membership now at $500. Thank you, bidder. We appreciate that. You want to bid on these items? 360-8255. That's the First Bank phone line. In the meantime, our friend Greg Gaston joins us now. I'm going to be so happy. Greg will be on the sidelines when the Tigers play the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Greg, watch the whole game on that big Jumbotron at Jerry's World, Greg.
I am fired up. Here's what I'm worried about, though, Brett. When I get to the stadium, not if, I'm going. When I get to the stadium, will there be a moose out front that says parks closed for renovations? I'm worried about that. Going to Jerry's World, that could happen.
Very, very well could be that. I'm
more worried that our friend Greg will not find the field because he's probably got to go through so many different pathways, hallways to get there.
And it's below the stadium, and even in the working areas, y'all will see it. I mean, just a labyrinth of things, and beneath the stadium, a world of its own going on down there.
Wow, what do you mean a world of its own? What's going on down there?
Well, you're going to find out. They'll give you a printout of all the things. There were 2 great ones. Beneath the stadium, you could park 16 tractor trailers, cab and rig, under the stadium comfortably. But here's the best note they'll give you: open the roof. You can get the Statue of Liberty, set it down in the stadium, and close the roof and not mar the Statue of Liberty. It's that big.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Holy smokes. One thing we do know that's not there, Hoffa. Hoffa's not buried there. We know that.
No. He's in the Meadowlands.
That was at the Meadowlands, exactly.
He's in New Jersey.
Yeah. He's by your hometown.
I tell you what, soon's going to be buried there is Jason Garrett's career.
Oh man, no.
Ooh.
That is.
Ooh.
I think that's absurd. I can't imagine that he's gonna make it through another year.
Do you think that'll be on the map that they give you about all that info?
Well,
Jason Garrett's future chamber.
Y'all, that call could be going down while y'all are there, and y'all could get out to the Star for the presser for that. That could be going down during those days.
That could be. Very well, could be. In the meantime, we've not yet heard. We do not know what's going on with the head football coach. Got the feeling, and I heard Ryan Silverfield on your show today that he ended up talking with the brass this afternoon, and
Right.
I wish they would give a timeline because there is that clock ticking on the signing day next Wednesday. It would behoove whoever is in charge to be named
By
to
this
keep
weekend.
this class together.
I have a way to settle this whole thing real quick, real easy, make everybody happy. Follow me on this one. Chip Long needs a job. Barry Odom needs a job. Silverfield becomes the head coach. Barry Odom becomes the DC. Chip Long becomes the OC. Everybody's happy. We move on to the Cox.
You know what?
That would be dream team.
I mentioned the Chip Long thing. That would be outstanding if Barry would accept the DC. I got the feeling Barry Odom, who is owed money, could sit out a year. I don't know that he would be a DC again.
Arkansas thinks they have him for their defensive coordinator.
And look, I'm kidding, obviously. I mean, it would be cool to have something that simple where it all fit in. But I think you're right, Wolo, with Barry Odom. I don't know. I don't know if he'll jump right back into it unless, as you said, Brett, Arkansas has something brewing. But it's one of those things where I understand what Laird Beach, the Memphis AD, said on Sunday. Wolo and I was over there at the presser, that you have to do your due diligence. It's going to be a national search. Yet on the same token, it still has to be quick because you got these recruits, you got signing day coming up, you have the Cotton Bowl, and the team returns to practice this weekend. So that's the dilemma that they're in. It's got to be extensive and diligent, yet it's got to be quick. So I'm as up in the air with this thing as
money.
you guys are right now.
Let's throw that hypothetical because I love your dream team. But if you were a former head coach trying to reclaim your status as an elite player, as an elite coach, defensive play caller, trying to get back to being a main guy, which is the better job? Which is the better program at the moment where you're going to win? You're going to go get your head handed to you in Fayetteville, Arkansas, or you're going to come here where you've got a defense coming back next year.
Be better than last year or this year.
Yeah, on paper should be better
Whole
than
team
it was, and you're going to win. Which is the better way to go? I mean, if you're going to be a DC and you're not going to be the head coach, which is the better place to go and reclaim your legacy?
And you want to be a head coach again.
Right, exactly.
Right, okay, so to answer that question, it's simple in my opinion. Barry has ties here. There's a lot of people that like him. Obviously, he was able to do a great job, which elevated him to getting that Missouri head coaching gig. Financially, I don't know where it stacks up, what the DC gets paid at Arkansas, what the DC gets paid at Memphis.
I think Memphis loses in that department.
Yes, but he has made a lot of money as the Missouri coach, and money might not be the most important thing right off the bat. Here's the thing. You can sit out, you can count your money, you can wait for the best opportunity, and maybe for many that's the way to go. Here's the one thing I think you don't want to do. Out of sight, out of mind. Now, for those who have lost their jobs and have been able to get jobs, let's say, at ESPN or Fox, they're always right there in the limelight. And those guys always seem to get an opportunity. But if you're not one of those fortunate people, maybe you're not into the media, you don't like to do that, you're uncomfortable, and you don't get that opportunity because you're not a big enough name, and you sit out a few years,
get forgotten.
You could easily get lost in the shuffle.
Greg, no doubt.
You know what? To answer your money question, because I think that's fair, and it's the first thing that pops in your head, if he's got offset language in his contract with Missouri, it doesn't matter. Whatever he was going to make is his ceiling, $2.5 million, $3 million, whatever he was getting paid at Arkansas. At Missouri, he's still getting that money no matter whether he's at Memphis or Arkansas. So the money part of it might not really be a factor while he is still getting paid from Missouri.
And the ability to win. And Greg, I mean, from what I was told by many, a lot of people just took a pass on the Arkansas head coaching job by looking at that roster, that in-state recruiting base, and next year's schedule. Opening day against Nevada, that's not easy. With the teams Arkansas's lost to in the last few years, they could sure lose to Nevada in week 2 at South Bend, and then they do get them at home, but in back-to-back weeks they get Alabama and LSU.
Look, I understand Sam Pittman getting an opportunity to become the head coach. You jump on that in a heartbeat. But there's other coaches that probably they spoke to, that, including Lane Kiffin, that did not want to go anywhere near that thing. And right now, if I'm an assistant coach, or excuse me, a coordinator, and in Barry's case, he'd be looking at becoming a coordinator again, and then hopefully get that shot down the road to become a head coach again, I would look at Memphis as a way better situation than Arkansas, despite the fact that Arkansas is in the SEC, more money, resources, that type of stuff. But Memphis, boy, they are on the move. We are moving in the positive trajectory. I think it's a great job. I don't know he would do that. Obviously, he would love to become the head coach at Memphis. But, just for us, just talking between three guys, nobody else, that it would be kind of neat if they could put that into one little neat package, put a bow on it, and say, there you go. That
would get people excited.
Brian, everything's great.
And Greg, one more thing on the Arkansas job that I think was brought up by several, including Eli Drinkwitz, who's from the state of Arkansas and had coached at Arkansas State University, may even G8 at Fayetteville as part of the Gus Malzahn kind of coaching tree. That pesky 19-game SEC losing streak.
Brutal.
Yeah, that'll change your hair color from whatever it is to gray. Real.
Promise you.
By the way, you brought up Drinkwitz. I had no idea. He's actually connected to, was it Springdale? Is that the school with Gus?
Either Springdale or Shiloh Christian.
I think it was Springdale.
But yes, he has a direct link with Gus, and it was at Gus at Arkansas State with our friend John Thompson in 2013. And, boy, a meteoric rise for him. He went 12-1 with the coach at Louisville's players.
Yes, but I know 1 year and he gets $4 million a kick. But think about this: you've got two guys, I believe, from the same high school in Arkansas that are now two of the head coaches in the SEC.
Well, I can tell you, I remember you talk about dramatic pay raises, because Drinkwitz went from 800,000 to $4 million when Kenny Dillingham first came from Arizona State. He was a GA here. I want to say he was making like $15,000. And when he made him
Tomlin,
when he made him the quarterback coach, he went from $15,000 to like $130,000, which was one heck of a raise. But this $800,000 to $4 million, that's pretty amazing.
Springdale offensive coordinator, but it was the last year of Gus that he was there. But you're right, two of the 14 out of Springdale Bulldog program.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Hey, we talked about this earlier. I don't know what caused, and I'm sure this is being asked of Chip Long when he's interviewing for these jobs now. What happened at Notre Dame? This guy was a Broyles Award candidate. Notre Dame scored more points this year than they ever have in history, and you just fired your OC. There has to be something we don't know.
Absolutely, and Eli and I were talking, and Eli has a friend that's a radio personality and does some of Notre Dame's one of the sports up there, and he said that what he's hearing, that there was some discourse between the coaching staff, all the coaching staff members, and Chip. And I'm like, wait a minute here. Right before a bowl game, you just went through a whole season. Like you said, the success he had last season was pretty incredible. Not as good this year. So I'm thinking the same thing. And the first thing that came to mind, and it probably did to some other people, maybe you guys as well, was when you hear this, you go, okay, wait a minute now. Chip Long is out before the bowl game at Notre Dame. You know, his name is one that certainly popped up when Mike left for Florida State. Did he possibly go to Brian Kelly and say, listen, I got a chance to interview for the Memphis job, or I want to pursue the Memphis job? I know they don't need to get the approval of the coach, but maybe something like that happened. But Eli says no. It was some kind of discourse between Long and the coaches on that staff, which is just hard to believe. I mean, I don't know. Is it just is it a coincidence or not? I think it's kind of amazing that he's the name that's popped up, right? And all of a sudden, that happens, and he loses his job.
In the one year that he was here, of course, he was with a buddy, and there was, as far as I could tell, there was no animosity at all between Chip Long and any of the other coaching staff.
Greg, let's go back to last Saturday. For you down on the field, it was tense. Greg, I'll tell you, being there, I was fearful of 4th and 27 and the nightmare ghost of Gino Guidugli rearing his ugly head. But it worked out well for the Tigers.
Who was in the booth not far from us?
Right, his OC.
He's the quarterback coach.
Quarterbacks coach. On the field, what were you feeling?
It was intense. I was nervous, and the only reason for me is because I'm part of the crew, and now I feel closer to the program. But I'm not an alum there. I could not believe, or I just couldn't imagine being a Tiger alum, being a current student that's in the stands, watching how close they are to the brass ring, and having the possibility of it being pulled from them in the final seconds by Cincinnati. So I was nervous, but I was really nervous for those fans, and they were all on their feet. They were great. They were loud. They were boisterous, but boy, it was hairy, as you know, Brett.
And Greg,
calling it, it's very stressful. I think it's more stressful though for like somebody like me on the sideline than it is when you're actually calling the game like Wolo, because I've been in those positions before. I think that you're so into the game. I'm sitting there and watching it unfold right in front of me, and it was nerve-wracking.
And it wasn't just nerve-wracking. It would have been the sports version of Penthouse to the Outhouse, from Cotton Bowl to something.com bowl.
Well, where's Cincinnati going? Look, you can tell. There is some breaking news, couple of things here. Richard Cross is reporting, as has been speculated, the deal with Jeff Lebby is done. He's going to be named the offensive coordinator for Lane Kiffin. If you don't know, Lebby most recently was the OC at UCF. And this coming from John Varlas with the Daily Memphian. Lincoln Perry from Houston has committed to Arkansas State.
So the Tigers will see him opening day at Liberty Bowl Stadium next year.
Well, let me say this, and John would come on weekly with us, as you guys know, and he was really singing the praises of Lincoln Perry.
Sure has.
Very, very happy for that young man.
Me too. I think he had, Arkansas State's a good place to go. He could have gone to service academies, I believe.
But full ride at ASU is a good deal for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm happy as heck for him, and I actually was kind of hoping that Memphis would take a look at him.
He's talented, and I was surprised that early in the season, mid-season, he wasn't getting the looks that John and others thought he would, and then finally, in the end, some schools came a-calling. But Blake Anderson's a hell of a coach, and he's a heck of a player. I think he's going to end up surprising a lot of people who didn't go after him.
Greg, have you watched Penn State yet? Have you been able to really analyze what they do? Because when I've watched them just games this year, I hadn't watched it in any replays, but the few games I've watched them play all year, that defensive front is big time.
I watched them for a while against my alma mater, Maryland was absolutely awful. So I turned it off pretty quickly. I was tired of watching my team get knocked around. But, yeah, Penn State's front line on the defense is really, really good. Offensively, I don't know if they scare you, to be honest.
They don't.
With you.
No, they don't.
There's no Saquon Barkley. There's no really, really strong quarterback. They have good players.
It's not McSorley, though. No,
exactly.
No. Exactly. It's an average offense.
Greg Chuck Fusine is not walking through that door.
If Memphis can provide Brady White with time against that big front, I think Memphis is in the game
score points
the whole way. While we're talking Tigers, and we do this with Greg Gaston all the time, every week in this time slot, the last 2 years, I really fell in love with Jeremiah Martin. Not just as a player, but as just a good human being. And he's, he played again at another big night for the G League team that he is playing, the Sioux Falls Skyforce. They were in town, and he was asked
throw the record books out when the Skyforce show up.
Well, throw them out when Martin's playing. His debut was 33 points and like 10 rebounds. I think he might, if he keeps playing this way, he's going to get a chance to play in the NBA. But he's so smart. He was apparently he went and talked to the Tiger basketball team. He said to his group, don't buy into the hype, referring to Saturday's game in Knoxville with the Vols. You have to play it like a regular game. I know that's going to be hard because everybody's going to be excited about the game, but it's not about the noise. You only have to worry about each other. Stick with your game plan. Don't forget who you are. You're going to be good. He also talked a little bit about what they did at UAB. He says they're going to be great. I know it. They're super young. Obviously, the most recent win at UAB was telling. I know it's not easy to win there, no matter if they're ranked or if people think they aren't good that year. I'm very, very proud of that win. That just shows that we are on the rise. The more you see from this kid, you can't help but appreciate. You can't help but appreciate Jeremiah Martin.
I love Jeremiah Martin. Every time I text him, he gets back to me as soon as he can. What he was able to do on the floor from his freshman year to becoming one of the all-time greats at the University of Memphis, 10th on the scoring list. But his leadership last year, and that Memphis team wasn't the most talented team, as you know, not even comparable to this year's total talent. But he made them very competitive because he was the leader out there. And all the other guys followed, and they did a good job. But he was the leader. That's what I'm hoping that Alex Lomax is developing into. And he loves Alex
Great
Lomax.
point.
And if Alex Lomax, right, can become that leader, even if he's not the prolific scorer, and he won't be, I don't believe that Jeremiah Martin is or was, I think he could be that leader. And that's right now what I think that's the big void with this team, other than James Wiseman not being out there, is not having that leader, and I think Lomax is turning into that leader.
I think I'm right on this. Remember, Jeremiah Martin as a freshman, total points scored as a freshman was 73.
Yeah, something like that.
To turn it on those next 3 years, I'm not saying Alex Lomax is going to do that, but you are a very different player and person as a senior than as a freshman or even first semester sophomore, Greg.
Well, what do you have, 40 points in the second half at USF? Almost as many as he had in 1 year in one half.
And Wolo, I think you're right. How you describe Jeremiah as the person he is before he even talked about basketball, same for Alex Lomax. Just a terrific young man.
Yeah, I made the remark, and I will stand by it. I almost always, universally, you see great improvement between a freshman and a sophomore, particularly at the point guard position. But that kid,
quarterback.
That kid went from freshman to senior.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about as much improvement as I've ever seen 1 year to the next in a point guard that wasn't like Derrick Rose. That was a guy that you knew was going to be a 3 or a 4 year player. Greg Aston, as always, we appreciate it.
Greg.
We'll talk to you next week.
Guys, bring it home, man. We got some more money and toys to bring in. So
you got it.
Keep it going for the next 30 minutes plus.
You got it.
We will
Thank
try.
You,
That's a good reminder. We are here at Family Leisure. We're here for one reason. We're trying to raise as much money or get as many toys and bikes as we can for the kids. So please, you've still got a half hour. Come on by. This portion of the show is brought to you by the commissary. Here's another great thing for the holidays: the 36-hour bird or the ham. Now, which one do you like better?
Both.
I knew I'd get that.
Don't make me decide.
I knew I'd get that answer.
That's favorite nephews, man. Don't make me decide.
I'm going to tell you right now. For me, it's the bird. 36-hour bird.
All right, I'll go ham then.
You're a hero in your house if you bring home this bird. First of all, if you're cooking it, or people think you're cooking it, you serve it, they're going to go, "That's the best darn turkey I've ever had." I mean, the flavor. 36 hours, they got it down. They've been doing it for years, and you can go to either commissary, Germantown Commissary or Collierville Commissary. Collierville might be easier because you got the drive-thru.
You want to give a six-pack of barbecue away?
Yeah.
We gave the answer earlier. We're talking about the Heisman Trophy and the largest margin of victory ever, 360-8255 at the First Bank phone line. Joe Burrow is threatening to win by the biggest margin ever. I said it earlier. Who has the record now? Who's won the Heisman Trophy with the biggest landslide ever? 360-8255 first caller at the First Bank phone line wins a six-pack of barbecue at the Germantown or Collierville Commissary.
And we'll do that as soon as we get back. Before we talk to Blake Lovell, please come see us. You got 30 minutes. And we really appreciate all of your contributions. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
I just left those Ford and Toyota dealers. You ought to see their selection of new cars and trucks. And you should see their prices. Santa trades a Sunrise Buick GMC truck. Top trade-in for old sleds, immediate financing, a true bargain lot with cars and trucks under $99.95. And remember, Sunrise specializes in first-time buyers. Want to buy a car or truck and have some left over for the holidays? SunriseMemphis.com, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville. Happy holidays.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One with a Thursday night football preview. Week 15 begins with the final Thursday night game of the season and spotlights the league's hottest team, the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens at 11-2 will play host to Sam Darnold and the New York Jets. Coming off a win over the Bills, the Ravens have now won 9 straight and clinched a playoff spot. Head coach John Harbaugh.
We know that everybody in the league will be watching. The guys know that all the players are watching. Most of the fans are watching. The reward after that is you get the weekend, you get to watch everybody else play, and you get some time to heal up and rest. It's a way better experience when you go win that Thursday night game, and that's probably why our guys are so focused, is because we really have to go to work and get ready to go try to win the game.
Ian Eagle and Tony Baselli will have all the action from Baltimore when the Ravens host the Jets on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Not a big summer guy. Too hot. Not a big winter guy either. Too cold.
We're here.
Your favorite season?
Do y'all want me to wait to call Bill until after we finish this up?
Blake. Yes.
Blake, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I trust Grainger. Grainger's safety experts have the safety solutions and expertise to help keep your facility safe.
Well, you can put him on 6
all year long. Seasons may change, but Grainger.
Do you want me to go ahead and call him then?
Yeah, have him there so when we get through with trivia, he's there.
For all things safety.
Okay.
Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And we're gonna go short with him and get a tote board.
Right. Where is Blake? Where's he live?
Based out of Nashville.
Nashville.
Clutch Points app and Blue Ribbon
For
Magazine.
just $149.99. It's the perfect gift for everyone on your list, even you. So get great savings on select Craftsman tools, now available at your local Napa store. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/19.
Sold his house.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
Here once again
are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Hi.
Welcome back in. Final half hour on Toys for Tots Day here at Family Leisure. We're going to be joined by Blake Lovell in just a minute. Blake, of course, from Clutch Points app and Blue Ribbon Magazine. He's from the Nashville area. I wonder if they're as excited about this Memphis and Tennessee showdown as we are here. But we want to give away a 6-pack of Germantown Commissary, and to do that, you just have to answer this question. We think the Joe Burrow Heisman Trophy announcement will be in a landslide. Will it be the biggest landslide in history? That we'll find out on Saturday. But who, at the moment, owns the biggest landslide margin of victory? Bobby, do you know the answer? Brett said it on the air earlier today.
I believe I heard it. I think he said OJ.
That is a winner.
You're a winner, Bobby. Hang on and get with Drew.
You know what
Huh?
You know they say that this is a cliche. You know that he looked like a boy. I mean, a man among boys. But when you look at those old films of OJ running at USC, he really did look like a man with kids trying to tackle him.
We just said it during the break, and especially it was anything but in the kick return game. It was little bitty boys chasing somebody a lot bigger and a lot badder and a lot faster than them. But what a shame we hardly can have a conversation about OJ anymore. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah.
That was all right, man.
Thank you.
Put you on hold.
Put you on hold, and Drew will get all the info. He was, it kind of reminded me of, this may not be apt, but the first time I ever saw LeBron James
very good comparison.
Run down the court at full speed.
Dave, right on. Right on.
He's so much bigger, you're just going, how can a guy
this
that
is
big
different.
be that fast?
This is very different.
And that's the way it was with OJ, without a question. In the meantime, as we promised, Blake Lovell joins us now from Clutch Points app and Blue Ribbon Magazine. We're so excited about this basketball game. You're kind of in the middle on Saturday. 2 ranked teams, Memphis 13, UT 19. A lot of, I guess we could say animosity from a year ago. How excited in Middle Tennessee is everybody about this showdown?
Yeah, guys, there's a lot of Tennessee fans in Nashville, and I think, certainly now with all the bowl matchups and stuff, everybody's really turning their attention to this game because it's one we've really been waiting on for a year now. Think about it. I mean, it's after the one from last season and some of the fireworks that came from it. I think a lot of people are excited about this one. You'd love to have James Wiseman on the floor, but even without him, like we said, it's a game between 2 top 20 teams and 2 teams that think they can, go to the Sweet 16 and beyond in the tournament. 2
critical contributors last year. They weren't mainstays, but they helped. Eve Pons and Big Fulkerson inside. They're both back. They're more prominent members of the team this year than last year. I thought a little bit. I know Rick Barnes, great coach, he knows his team a heck of a lot better than me. I thought he forgot about Pons some down the stretch of last year.
No, I think he's someone, as soon as we saw him step on campus there, we said, look, that guy's got the potential. It's just a matter of how quickly does he become, a key player, because they did have Grant Williams, Schofield, and that was kind of their ascent. They started that as he came in, and now we're seeing him here, as someone who has to be a key player every single night if Tennessee wants to win. Really, I think those 2 guys, you said it, they're the reason Tennessee is ranked in the top 20 right now. We knew what we were going to get from Monte Turner and Jordan Bowden, but those 2 guys are the ones that have gotten them to this point. It's allowed them to be this good this early, and now that we know pretty much what to expect from those 2, Tennessee 1 through 5, you can put them up and feel like they have a chance to beat anybody in the SEC and feel like they have a chance to win a game like this against Memphis. I think what I want to see from the Vols is what they keep getting from guys elsewhere. If they can keep getting contributions from some of their younger guys, I mean, they're going to be right there again, I think, at the top of the SEC.
Well, I think for Memphis, one of the keys will be Turner. You mentioned him. He's averaging 7.5 assists, and so you're going to have Damian Ball on him or Alex Lomax on him, stopping him, slowing him down, making it more difficult for him to distribute, in my mind, will be critical in this game.
But we'll have somebody fresh on him all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's going to be a situation where, look, his experience is just something that, as we know, that's when we talk about intangibles. I mean, that's an intangible that a lot of teams don't have. And that's someone like Monte Turner, who's been, a big part of the success. Yeah, they lost the guys from last season, but I love even with Jordan Bone, Don, and Grant Williams, and Monte Turner was just as important because of what he did, because he is someone you can rely on, and if he has the ball in his hand, he's usually going to get it where it needs to go, whether that's him finding a way to take a shot or getting it to somebody else. So I think it's, that experience that he has, that's something that I think is going to really, give him an advantage not only in a game like this, but really when you look around, especially like in the SEC this season, there's a lot of inexperienced teams or inexperienced backcourts as a whole, and when you have someone like that along the bench, that gives Tennessee that edge, and that's why we look at Rick Barnes and say, well, he's got a team that may not look like it did last year, but it's still a team that has a chance to win a lot of games.
I think when we look at Rick Barnes, we all kind of shake our heads. I thought that was a really good hire when he got the position, but I know there were a lot of people skeptical that he was just going to do this for another paycheck. That he had lost his fastball. He left it at Texas. He didn't quite take advantage of all the talent that he got at Texas. He didn't win enough there. What he's done here is nothing short of remarkable, Blake.
Yeah, I agree. And Brett said it. We had this conversation, I think, when he got hired. We were both on that same page. He said, well, I'm not really sure what we're going to get here. It's a situation where you just didn't know. And you kind of knew what the situation was Tennessee was in at that time. And we maybe kind of compared it to when Bruce Pearl was there, and then sort of the after effect of when he left and what the program had sort of been like since. And wondered, yeah, you've got Rick Barnes coming in, but are they going to get back to that level? And now, like we say, you go back to last year, they were number one team in the country at times. And I really think it's this. I think the player development part of this whole thing has been their biggest strength. I mean, they have just gotten players that haven't necessarily been at the top. They haven't gotten the elite 5-star players. They developed Grant Williams from a 3-star player that really no one was looking at. Admiral Schofield, he was a good recruit, but he wasn't that elite 5-star level guy, and they just developed him exactly into the players they needed with the toughness and all the things that they needed to fit into their system. And yeah, they got a guy like this guy James in there this year, a high-level 5-star guy, but Lamonte Turner, Jordan Bowden, just these guys who keep developing in this system. I think that's one of the biggest things we're going to look at with Rick Barnes once he does retire. The way he develops players, maybe it didn't come along like he wanted to at Texas, but what he's done at Tennessee, it's been pretty outstanding.
Regardless who wins and who's defeated on Saturday, 3 months from now, what are the March goals, do you think, realistic? Because this time last year we were thinking Final Four for Tennessee, and they came up short. Auburn got the surprise Final Four spot out of the SEC. For Memphis and for Tennessee, what do you think are the March 14th goals, with this Saturday being the December 14th matchup?
Yeah, I would probably at this point, and I know this won't make Tennessee fans happy, but I think Memphis is the team with the higher sort of ceiling, just because once they get Wiseman back, they're a team that just adds an element, like we say, that a lot of teams don't have. A lot of teams don't have a guy that could be the number one pick in the draft. And so it's a situation where you look around that team, and I know we're going to maybe compare it to the Kentucky teams with the inexperience and things like that, but you just feel like the Memphis team specifically can maybe pack a little bit more of a punch than this particular Tennessee team, because like I said, it's not that Tennessee doesn't sort of, have the intangibles to get to a Sweet 16 and beyond. I do think it's a matter of, do they have sort of that depth beyond 1 through 5, and I wonder about that with them. And I don't know exactly, we've seen what we've seen from Fulkerson and Pons, but are we going to see that on a nightly basis against SEC competition, game in and game out? That's what we're not exactly sure of yet. So I feel like Memphis probably is a team that can go a bit further than Tennessee, at least just comparing the two teams. And maybe that is just the James Wiseman effect, but I'm very high on both of them, but I will say I'd probably take Memphis over Tennessee in the long run.
Is Auburn the best team in the SEC this year?
I think so right now. That could change, but I think Auburn's the team that looks the best. And Tennessee has the best pair of wins, beating Washington and VCU. But Auburn's been the best team, in my opinion, just watching these games. That they just, it's sort of similar to Tennessee, to be honest with you. They don't have the team they had last year. They lost some of the best players in program history, say about Auburn and Tennessee, but yet they just keep winning. And I pointed this out. When we think about Auburn, Auburn's not lost to a team that hasn't won the national championship since February of 23rd of this year. That was the game they lost to Kentucky, got blown out in Rupp Arena. Since then, the only team they've lost to is Virginia, who won the national title in the Final Four. So if you look at it that way and consider what they've done to start the season, it hasn't mattered that Jared Harper's not there. It hasn't mattered that Bryce Brown or Chimo Kiki aren't there. They just keep winning. And the fact that they do that, you can say what you want about Bruce Pearl. You can take shots at him. I know a lot of fans will, but they just win. And the way you look at it this year, maybe they're not exactly the same team either as they were a year ago, but it doesn't really matter. They've won every game they've played, and they look really good right now.
We just had football coaching carousel and changes in football in the SEC, 3 this year. Are there any SEC men's basketball coaches going into this Christmas time and then into SEC play that really could play themselves onto a hot seat? I'm thinking of Conzo at Missouri.
He's probably the only one I would look at and say it's a possibility if it really sort of goes south for them. Because, I mean, look, the expectations weren't very high for them anyway. I mean, they were picked wherever they were picked, 13th, 12th, whatever it was. So we kind of knew going in it was going to be a season like now. I'm one who thinks they could be a bit better. I thought they could be a sleeper team. We've seen the bright spots, and we've seen them look really bad at times. That loss to Charleston Southern last week. So they would really like probably to see him kind of put it together to where they're at least a top, middle of tier type of team in the SEC. And I don't think they would be top 5 or anything, but if they finish back in that bottom 4, that could be something where we look at and say, well, you know, I'm not really sure what they do next. I mean, I'm not necessarily thinking, even if they finish there, I don't think it's going to be fired this offseason or anything like that, but the seed would start to get pretty high, probably just knowing what Missouri's expectations are there. They want to be a team that can compete at the top of the SEC.
They once thought of themselves as probably, first and foremost, a basketball school.
Yeah. Yep. No, they did. And it is. I mean, I think the way this thing played out the past couple of years, we think about when he was hired, we were all talking about Michael Porter, we were talking about Jonte Porter, and we were thinking this is where Missouri gets back to being a regular top-tier team in the SEC. And to see the way it played out with both of those players getting injured, it's just you kind of feel for them a little bit because it was all set up for them to be in really good shape, and then you lose your 2 best players back-to-back years, and you don't really, I'm not able to make up any ground on it. Now you go into this season without either one, and knowing that maybe you don't have the depth that some of these other teams have, and that kind of puts you in a spot to where how does that play into how they view him? That's going to be kind of interesting to watch.
Real quick, since we're talking coaches, what's the early grade, the feeling about Jerry Stackhouse?
Well, I'll tell you, I think Vanderbilt, I don't think they're going to be a great team this year, but I've been more impressed with him than probably a lot of people have because I'm in Nashville. I saw that team last year. I've seen this team in recent years, and I just feel like that they haven't added toughness this year that they haven't had in recent years, and they have a team that's playing really well right now. They beat Buffalo, who beat DePaul, who was undefeated at the time, and so you think about all these things. I don't think you're going to see Vanderbilt go winless in the SEC this year, and I really do think there were a lot of people who thought this was a way outside the box type of hire. I think it's exactly what Vanderbilt needs based on what we've seen through 8 games.
He's Blake Lovell. You read him at Clutch Points app and Blue Ribbon Magazine. We'll talk to you same time, same place next week. Thank you, my friend.
Sounds great, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
This portion of the show brought to you by Dinstall's. We're having a sweet time here at Family Leisure with Toys for Tots, but I know you want to send something sweet. What says Memphis better than Dinstall's? You can send candy as a Christmas gift, as a reminder about home. To those who want to be here but aren't here, you could do that with Cashew Crunch, Turtlettes, Heavenly Hash, caramel corn, all kind of nut combinations, just milk chocolate. They'll actually make, if you've got your company in mind, they will put your logo in chocolate. How can you beat that? And there's nothing better than Dinstall's. I'm telling you, it is the signature for sweets in Memphis. And now there's 4 locations. You know the original, Pleasant View. You know my neighborhood in Laurelwood. You know you go down Poplar a little bit. There you are, Germantown, right across from the hospital, Germantown and Poplar. And then keep going down to Byhalia and Collierville. That's the newest location. Make it a sweet Christmas, a sweet holiday for all that you know. Make it sweet by going to Dinstall's. We take a time out. We've got crunch time coming your way, a little update here and there. We'll give you the tally on the auction items. We thank you all so much. You have once again, here at Family Leisure, made Toys for Tots a very special day. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Get happy with Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Weekday afternoons from 1 till 3 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
If it's time for a new gun, rifle, or silencer, Tactical Guns and Gear in Collierville on Highway 72 is the best place to go. I promise they have the newest, most exciting selection of guns and silencers you could ever want. I don't care if you shoot for fun, hunt, or just need a gun for personal protection, Tactical Guns and Gear has the best selection of firearms around. The only one-stop silencer shop in Tennessee. In less than 10 minutes, they do all the paperwork. Take your photo, originate gun trust, take your prints electronically, and the best part, you never have to scan them again. Yes, silencers are legal. No special licensing, just a simple background check. Silencers don't make your firearm silent. They simply reduce noise for more enjoyable shooting. Help protect against hearing loss. Reduce recoil. It makes you more accurate. Best silencer place in the entire state of Tennessee, right here in Collierville. For all things guns and gear, ask for Jake or Jim at Tactical Guns and Gear on Highway 72 and tell them Eli says hi. Online at tacticalgunsandgear.com.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together. So the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
It's that time of year. Come join us at Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, Thursday, December 12th, all day, 7 to 6. We're raising money and, most importantly, bringing toys for Mid-South Toys for Tots. Help the boys and girls of the Mid-South have a happy holiday. You can do it. Bring those new unwrapped toys, checks, cash. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, Thursday, December 12th, 7 to 6. Sponsored by Envy Nail Bar, Gateway Tire, David C. Nanny CPA, and Hempville, South Haven, and Oxford.
Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stas. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Hot.
Welcome back in final portion of our Toys for Tots at Family Leisure, brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai, and Homer Skelton Genesis. Actually, Genesis of Olive Branch. They're sort of branding this wonderful place. It's the same place, same people, same service, same incredible technology. And again, it's right down Lamar into Mississippi, Craft Road, turn left. You'll see what I'm talking about, but they're going to actually have more Genesis products. There's the G90, they got a bunch of those. G70, a little smaller, they got a bunch of those. That's like a James Bond car. Then they're going to have SUVs. They're making more luxury cars that are known as Genesis. Of course, they all get the same 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So please go see my friends. Ask about the shopper assurance. Ask Chris Drew all about that. You'll love what you see at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. Before we get to crunch time, let's check in with Drew to see where the numbers are on the auction items. Last we heard, the 2 tickets to the Grizz and the Spurs on the 23rd with autographed pictures of both Ja and Jaron. I believe it was about $275. Where are we now?
The auction item finished out at $325.
$325. The Windyke membership, 3 months, you get to choose, was at $500. Where's that?
Closed out at $500.
$500. The 2 tickets to the Liberty Bowl with the 2 buffet tickets, where do we go with that?
Closed out at $125.
$125. And finally, the spot on Tiger Lane for a game of your choosing and food and drink for your friends, all 10 of you. What a deal. Where are we at with that?
He got it for $200.
$200. And that'll close out all of the auction items. Fun day. We do appreciate all of those who participated on the First Bank phone lines, and especially those of you who came and gave here. And we'll obviously have a tote probably early next week as to how much was raised. But it was just great seeing all our old friends come in and give and open up their pocketbooks for this great cause. Are you ready? You ready for crunch time? Let's do crunch time.
This is Geraldo. It is crunch time. You are
looking live. It's crunch time. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Golly, I don't remember that one.
Take questions again for the student athletes at this time, please.
He's a professional. He's pretty classy for his age.
In the crunch time, that's the frustrating part.
Oh, no, not again.
Little Penny could make some appearances this year.
Okay, I'm not huge into stats.
What's happening, big dog? How you doing?
Is this thing working?
Immediately when the buzzer sounds, he lets out this shriek.
You throw those ears for him, and he was in stroke mode.
This is stupid. It's obviously crunch time.
Boop, boop, boop. That's what you're getting. Time for Taco Bell Crunch Time. Taco Bell, home of the crispy tortilla chips, topped with a double portion of either seasoned beef or shredded chicken, plus refried beans, nacho cheese sauce, reduced fat sour cream, guacamole, and a 3-cheese blend. Nachos Bel Grande, heaping portion of chips, topped with ground beef, tomatoes, beans, nacho cheese sauce, and a dollop of sour cream. Taco Bell, home to great food you get on your way home real fast, and they bring you crunch time every day.
I learned today, Dave, that Toronto really showed the way in love to 1-year rental last year with Kawhi Leonard. There really wasn't any pretense around it. You knew he probably wasn't going to be there for long. He embraced it. They embraced it. And it ended in a title. And last night it ended in a really good show. Like Elliot Perry said when we talked to him going inside Hoop City, I'd sign up for that right now with the 1-year rental for the Grizzlies.
I agree. But as I mentioned earlier, I was so amazed and appreciative of the Toronto fans because he did leave them.
He did leave them.
Man, they were chanting MVP. And that was a heartwarming moment. I learned 12 minutes ago the space station flew over Memphis.
It did.
Who knew that?
That's right.
The space station just flew over. I didn't see it. Did you see it?
And we got a good reminder. AutoZone Liberty Bowl tickets. A good friend of ours wanted to remind you.
Okay.
Also, could have done without this today. The U.S. team scuffling yesterday at the President's Cup. Captain Tiger Woods, last July, man, I thought Tiger was about to die. He was so physically bereft of any energy, couldn't make it to Memphis. He looks fine now. Looks like the player to beat come Augusta National this year. And this coming July 4th, 2 weeks after U.S. Open, 2 weeks before Open Championship, no way we missed him this year. We get Tiger in 2020.
Patrick Reed, was he involved in that scuffle? I know there was some shots taken at him.
But scuffling playing, not a little scuffle.
By the international team.
Tiger played well yesterday.
That was the story. That was my I wish I could do without. Tiger was the only good player on the team.
He was great
yesterday. And do you know when in these past President's Cups, when a team is ahead by 3 or more points.
That's it.
Following the opening session, you know what their record is? 5-0. They've never lost.
I haven't checked in on scores today. How do we stand today? Because
I don't think it starts until 6 o'clock.
Memphis a little bit later start today.
Yeah. That no team has ever had a 3-point lead after the first day
Tiger
and not won it.
He hit every shot yesterday. He hit a long bunker shot that had great action on it. I mean, he was putting well and was really energized playing with Justin Thomas. And I think Justin Thomas really got a kick out of, I'm playing with Tiger Woods.
I do too.
I think that to that younger player, it means more to be around them than some, the contemporaries that got their heads bashed in by him for a lot of years.
I got to tell you, that golf course is so hard. There was one hole where Tiger, it was a par 5, and he came up about, 15, 20 yards short. He putted.
Yeah.
He absolutely putted.
Yeah. I think you saw a lot of Texas wedges yesterday between that wind and that crusty condition tonight, keeping a close eye on a lot of things, keep a close eye on President's Cup as they get into another day of it. I want to say used to, they wouldn't have any halves. Everything was decided. There was a half yesterday, wasn't it? Did they have a –
Yeah.
Was one?
No, there wasn't a half yesterday.
There was not one.
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know that they have halves like
no.
at the Ryder Cup.
They do. if you're tied at the end of 18 holes,
that's the end of it.
It's a half.
I thought they used
Tiger Woods won the first. He was the first one out while we were on the air. He won his match 3. I think it was 4-3, and then there was one match or maybe two matches tied along the way. But the internationals won every other event. That's why it was 4-1. Every other match.
I'm looking forward to the NFL game tonight, the Thursday night matchup. Ravens at home, and they can get a 12th win. We talked about it with Russell Copeland a few years ago. Everybody would have taken Sam Darnold over Lamar Jackson. Nobody would take that now. Big mismatch. College basketball really kind of getting a kick-started back on Saturday with a lot of matchups. Thin night tonight out there in college basketball.
Yeah, there is Iowa State if you like that.
That's a good one.
War in that state.
State rivalry. Sixers at Celtics in the NBA. Luka Doncic in Mexico City with the Mavericks against the Pistons. And Dallas, they're currently the 3 seed in the West. And Golden State, worst record in the league. Who had Dallas as the 3 seed around Christmas? And who had Golden State at any point of the year as the worst team in the NBA? Nobody.
Also tonight, College Football Awards.
Yeah.
That is on ESPN beginning in about 4.5 minutes.
Beginning right now, and Barry Jones will award the Outland Trophy tonight at that ceremony.
Oh, really? He is the one that's going to do the award?
He is.
Wow. I'll be looking forward to that. Also, by the way, this is for Drew, Predators Sabres tonight. Coming up in
Let's go Preds.
Just a couple.
Always let's go Preds, Drew, right?
Preds. Oh, my goodness.
Again, thank you to everybody. What a great day every year, and really, really nice how this community rolls out.
Oh, yeah. Thanks to everybody who came in. Thanks to Bill Bender for joining us on college football. Elliot Perry on Inside Hoop City. Russell Copeland. We got a bet this weekend on the Titans. I got the Titans.
I'm pulling for Russell. Sorry, Dave.
I figured you would. Greg Gaston and Blake Lovell. Tomorrow, big show you've got. I'm going to try to make it for the Football Friday forecast if my plane arrives in Knoxville.
Bruce Marshall, Peter Edmondson standing right here. He'll be with us tomorrow, and I'll have Burt Bertelkamp from the Tennessee Announce crew on the big game on Saturday. You'll join us, and also we will have Andy Schiffman talking NBA and Friday football forecast all tomorrow.
I can't remember in the Friday football forecast stuff who's in the lead in that on the picks?
Dave, I just had transmission trouble. Sorry. On remote, sometimes it can go dicey on you. Sorry.
What?
I see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
What? That'll do it for us. Big thanks, Peter Edmondson. He does this every year. Really and truly, thanks to everybody who came and they gave. Eli Savoy still here. Mike Brewer's actually picking stuff up. I never saw that before. Billy, Lindsay, everybody here at Family Leisure, thank you for making us feel so welcome. We'll do it again next year. Have a great night, everybody.